Hey everybody. So today we're going to be doing your decorations in the castle. You know, windows, arrow slits, doing probably some of the interiors, not all of the interiors because there's a lot of interior. You know, the path, stuff like that. And obviously, as you can tell, I'm trying out another texture pack because I'm very indecisive when it comes to texture packs for whatever reason. There's a part of me that likes the Jappa textures, there's a part of me who hates the Jappa textures, there's a part of me who is like, man, I wish there was a better or slightly different textures for most of them. Because it's about like 50-50 on if I like them or not. But we're gonna try these two new ones I'm using right now, and either I'll stick with them or I won't. We'll see. Might have to like mess around and like make my own. Well, not make my own. I don't know how to do art. I can't draw for shit, even when it comes to pixel art. But I can at least grab the textures I like from some of the ones I like that I've like gone through, and kind of hodgepodge them together, but not release it, because you know that's probably kind of a dick move to do to the original creators of this stuff. I need to figure out how do I want to get this up there. So I guess the first big thing I'm gonna be working on right now is going to be continuity. You know, can you get everywhere? Can you get in the walls and stuff like that? And I'll probably also switch out. Yeah, like right here, there's some spruce planks on the top right there. I don't really think that looks good. I'm gonna probably switch it back out with oak. Those are kind of the two big things I'm gonna go ahead and do right now. So, I've still been on my so-called cut of the century. It's been about a month and a half, and I've gone from 265 pounds, which I think is like what, 80-ish kilos, to 143 as of today. Honestly, it's quite freeing to be 20 pounds lighter. It's just something about it that just feels so good. It feels nice. I've made a lot of changes in, you know, what I eat and stuff like that. And, you know, for a little bit it did kind of suck, but as time has kept on going, I've definitely honestly liked more what I've been switching off into, stuff like that. Because back then, I used to drink a lot of soda, and now I barely even drink any soda, like at all. I used to slam those things. I used to be drinking like 5 or 6 normal Dr. Peppers every day. That's a lot of soda to be drinking every single day. Now I only really drink water and liquid death, which is you know, it's supposed to be meant for like recovering alcoholics and stuff like that, for, you know, from the design and stuff like that. It's been helping me a lot with my soda. I used to drink, like I said, for me drinking way too much soda, and me drinking way too much sweet tea too. You know, it's not like a product plug or anything like that. It's something to say, or something I'm like, you know, liquid death has helped me do this. Because it's true. It's helped me because they're all very low calorie and stuff like that, you know. That's another thing, which I guess is it's gonna be a very American kind of input. It's a kind of a problem in a lot of American stuff, very especially because when you start living cheaply, which is something I've been having to do, definitely not as much as I used to. A lot of the options you really only have is just garbage, like just stuff that's horrible for you. Obviously, I also work at a grocery store, so I see people come in with, you know, their EBT and stuff like that, which is basically just food stamps. And you know what they usually get instead of, like, you know, good stuff, good food, stuff like that, because most of that stuff isn't like EBT like viable, you know, stuff that you would think, you know, oh, food stamps would cover this. A lot of it doesn't. Only stuff that like food stamps covers is like Twinkies, Hawaiian Punch, you know, this stuff that's like definitely bad for you, like without a doubt kind of thing. It's just so ridiculous how that's just how it is, and that's the status quo. People are just like content with it. How do people just accept that fact that, you know, they're perfectly fine with feeding people who are in need to the point where they need food stamps, which, I mean, that's a lot of people now. They're getting that stuff because it's their, you know, because they want it, because it's a bunch of sugar. It's very sweet. It's something that's very, very prevalent in the American palate, I do suppose. I don't know. I don't really, personally, other than soda, that was the only thing I really had that was sweet. Don't really care for anything else. Like in that kind of range of like sweet, like candy is too sweet for me most of the time. Now, it took me a while to find me some good protein bars that I could eat that weren't just lacquered in sugar and were just horribly sweet. Luckily, I found a brand, it's called like RX bar, I think, where, I mean, it has sugar in it, it's kind of sweet, but it's not that sweet because it's mostly just, it's like 4 things in it. It's like dates, egg whites, and nuts. I mean, the fact that that alone, like, something so simple like that is ridiculously expensive. It's like $16 per box. I guess probably mostly because of shelf life and stuff like that, but even then, that's really, really expensive. You know, I like it. You know, I like it enough where I'm buying it, even though it's that expensive. It's just ridiculous to me that how, like, stuff like that is, you know, the healthy stuff is expensive, yet the stuff bad for you isn't. Which is just, was not the status quo for basically forever. That's only kind of become a problem, what, around the 80s, 70s? Obviously there was stuff that was like horrible for people beforehand, but that was mostly the stuff that they were inhaling or using as medicine, like mercury or lead or tobacco. You don't really see, I mean, people vape now, but you don't really see people smoking tobacco anymore. Unless they were already addicted to it, or at least from my experience. I mean, I know people in the restaurant business usually smoke way more than people who like do retail and stuff like that. But yeah, back to me. I'm very proud of how far I've gotten in, you know, losing weight and stuff like that, and I feel very proud that I've kept it up discipline wise. Well, actually, with that, this channel as well, you know, and some other stuff like, you know, personal hygiene and stuff like that, I've been doing a lot better with here recently, you know, in the past 2 or 3, or past, you know, basically since the start of this channel. It's basically the start of like everything. That started me like losing weight. That started me, you know, actually caring for myself and stuff like that, because this was basically just like I never actually talked about the main intention behind this channel, which is, I mean, the main intention is me to play video games or record whatever I'm playing at that point, and if I want to upload it or something or edit it down or whatever the hell I feel like doing, you know, I can. But another thing was for me to have something to do, something to look forward to, something to be like, okay, let's work on this, let's get this out. Something for me to put my brain on when I'm at home to help really make me feel better. How did you spawn down here? Let's see it. Oh, I need a spawn proof. I guess it's like right here. It's a little dark. Yeah, it looks better. It looks a lot better. Probably should have made those straight, but oh well. I want to get a staircase somewhere up in here to go into this gatehouse. I just don't know where I should put it yet. I guess I basically have to put it right here. Trying to make sure everything in here has some continuity to it, so you could, you know, get in some staircase, walk up, you know, to here, you know, walk over all the way around the walls, but also be pretty accurate. So it wouldn't make any sense for, let's say, a staircase to be out here in this outer building, because it doesn't make any sense, because that's, you know, would give if somebody were to attack, they would give them the option to come inside and just walk up into the stairs and take the walls almost immediately, rather than having to get funneled into the next gatehouse and fight. Just look at that sunrise. Ain't that a beaut? Ain't that a beaut? What the fuck is this? 1950? Anyways, the sunrise is pretty pretty right now. But let's see here. I got, you know, everything up here interconnected. Alrighty, so I can get my chest monster on out the way. I'm gonna go ahead and start designing inside the keep, and just getting the basement and the first floor done. I know the basement, I want to be my storage. First floor, at least I can get the floor in for it. So this is what I got right now. I like it. Looks pretty cool. I need to add some light differences and stuff like that. But this is gonna be the Great Hall kind of throne room. So yeah, you know, having a spot for me and only me. This is a single player. I need to switch out the floor. I might got some wool. I'm gonna switch that out, and then we're gonna add some stuff for the roof. Got myself a little throne. Hee hee hoo hoo ha. Hoo hoo. Bow down to me, peon. Suck my wiener, peon. So right now, what I'm doing is that I'm digging out what's gonna be the storage room, my storage room, and so I did use this area to grab dirt. The previous versions of this castle. Now I gotta work around that. But I don't know the exact palette or anything yet for down here just yet. But I have an idea. I just need to find something that looks good and won't, you know, make my eyes feel like they're burning. So, during the last episode, I was talking about Banner Brothers in the Pacific, but like, I said, not gonna spoil them because they're very good. But I finally watched the last. I was on the last 2 episodes of Pacific when I uploaded that video, last episode's video, and now that I've watched the last 2 episodes, I feel like my opinions aren't as negative as they were. I mean, is the Pacific better than Banner Brothers? No. But is it a lot better than I was making it seem like? Yes. But that's just what happens when you just kind of write this kind of story where it's just like 3 people. You're following 3 people at the same time. And then, honestly, you kind of need you need context, you know, that the show does not provide for you to, like, really know what's going on. Which is never great, in my opinion. I feel like if you're making a TV show, you need to... I'm having to dig this out a little further deeper because this right here is, well, you can see out here, and though I might cover that up, I might add some different things, some things to show depth and whatever over there. I am just gonna make the storage room a little lower as a contingency plan. I mean, it's a really good show, you know, if you have time, or you know, want a torrent, or you have HBO Max. I would definitely say, well, first of all, watch Banner Brothers first. See if you like that kind of historical drama in that kind of manner. If you'd like it, then go to the Pacific. I feel like the Pacific is weaker, and you need to actually kind of know what's going on for it to be enjoyable and stuff like that. And though that is not set in Banner Brothers, at least Banner Brothers is a lot more enjoyable as an experience as somebody who's never, like, I've never watched anything about World War II. I don't care about World War II. All I know is the Germans were bad, kind of thing. And yeah, watch Banner Brothers. Banner Brothers is a lot better. Which is kind of a shame because I feel like how the Pacific portrayed, you know, the Pacific front, which is, you know, us, the United States versus the Japanese, kind of weakly. I mean, the show is more focused on the average Marine experience rather than a whole company's, right? You know, a company like how it is in Band of Brothers, where it's just Easy Company and maybe like 1 or 2 characters from Dog Company. Meanwhile, the Pacific is the 1st, 7th, 5th Marine regiments. So it's a lot more characters, stuff like that. Which, I mean, it makes sense why, because, like I said, it's trying... The main theme of the Pacific is trying to show the disparity of what the Marines had to go through rather than the heroism that the Army received during, you know, while they were in Europe. That's the thing, it's like, I feel like a lot of people aren't gonna instantly catch that and understand that immediately. And even then, like I said, because that part of the writing I like in the Pacific. It's just that I don't like how it's divvied up between 3 people. You have 3 protagonists that are consistent. They're all doing their own thing most of the time. You know, you got Eugene Sledge, you got Lucky, and then you got John Basilone. You know, John Basilone's only the main protagonist for what? Like 2.5 episodes? You know, and the rest of it's Lucky and Sledge. And even then, the Melbourne episode, you know, there's one episode where it's literally just padding. It's just Melbourne. I mean, I understand the reason why, yeah, they were like, oh, let's add, you know, Australia in here because, you know, that's something that a lot of the Marines and a lot of Australians, they can't get themselves over. It is you know, the equivalent of padding, because I feel like it's trying to tell a story. It's trying to tell a different story there for Australia, and it just does not. It's like it feels shoehorned in. That's really, honestly, my opinion of like almost the entirety of Lucky's story. I feel like if they just wrote the book or wrote the movie, or did the show around Sledge's book instead of just like semi on Sledge's book, out with the old breed, I feel like the movie it would have been better. It would have been better, or they could have maybe done a different memoir or something like that. Not be like because Lucky's story is bad. Because Lucky's story shows kind of the more, I guess it shows the more disparity of the average Marine, depravity of most Marines during that time. Not to mention, I feel like a lot of people just did not write about their experiences in the Pacific in comparison to Europe. I mean, there was a whole thing about how those people, like, you weren't able to have journals in the Pacific because they were worried that if the Japanese got their hands on them, they would use it as an intel, which is not how it was in Europe. Europe, it was perfectly, you could write stuff down and keep journals and everything like that, and that's why we have a lot more memoirs, from what I know of at least, from people who fought in Europe rather than who fought in the Pacific. Not to mention the shit that the Marines saw, where it was definitely, on average, significantly worse. At least that's my opinions on the Pacific right now. I'm currently watching Chernobyl, at the HBO miniseries. Like I'm honestly, there's a guy on YouTube called the Chernobyl guy, which he makes really good, like, sophisticated documentaries about Chernobyl and stuff like that. Which, if you're into like having the full explanation of a nuclear reactor, go watch him instead of that series. Which I do sometimes, but I felt like because it's a drama, it's a historical drama. It doesn't have to be 100% historically accurate, and that's kind of what I wanted to watch at this point. Especially because I don't really watch a lot of TV until, I guess, recently now. I just never felt bothered enough to watch any TV. I'd watch a movie every now and then, but even then it'd only be like the same like 5 movies I used to like. I've always watched, which is basically just Indiana Jones, The Last Crusade, The Princess Bride, and then the Lord of the Rings trilogy, the extended editions. Those are the 5 movies I would consistently watch, and I don't know, maybe the original Willy Wonka every now and then. So I mean, I definitely need to watch some more movies. Just nothing that's really piqued my interest. I mean, I've watched basically all the Spielbergs. Yeah, I think so. I think I really have. Except for like Jurassic Park. I've watched all of them. I never felt interest. I never cared for dinosaurs. Hence why I've never watched Jurassic Park. I was not a dinosaur guy. As a child, I was a train guy. I still have my thousands of pounds of Thomas the Train things, even to this day. So we have our entrance right here. I was thinking about doing it kind of reminiscent of highly organized. So basically I was thinking maybe like, boom, we could have like a 5x5 like this, and then a hallway going into like whatever it is. So like, for example, this could be wood, but this is the wood hallway, and then over here it's the stone hallway, and over here is the clay hallway. So I think that's how I'm gonna have it set up. And then I can have maybe like a little pass-through in those hallways. That'll make them look good. And then, not to mention, I am planning on putting in some redstone contraptions and builds here. Like, for example, I guess since this back wall is going to be super flat, what I could do is I could put like a very long either sugarcane or bamboo farm or something like that. Or maybe like a pumpkin melon farm, because those are kind of cool, because pumpkin and melon farms, they kind of have some like depth to them. More depth to them. And I feel like that, that might look cool. Yeah, pumpkin farm would be a lot be a lot nicer to have than sugarcane and/or bamboo. That's at least omnipresent in front of my face consistently the entire time. Anyways, I guess back on the concept of movies, because I can tell you, I mean, I've already talked about, you know, the Pacific and Band of Brothers and how you should watch them. I might as well tell you guys that you definitely watch at least The Princess Bride. That movie, very good, very good. It's very kind of low budget. It's kind of a, I guess it, you know, if you were born sometime before the ripe old age of 2000 and, I don't know, 7, you remember, you know, basically these direct to TV movies, which is, I think, what The Princess Bride was? Question mark? I don't know if it was a direct one, but I definitely, you know, by the point that I was watching it, it was constantly on TV because they would just keep on playing it over and over again. And I mean, it's not like it's a bad movie. It's a really good movie. It's a very fun, you know, fun movie. I mean, I gotta assume it was at least relatively popular, especially in the older days of the internet too, because I feel like there's a lot of gifs from it. You know, like Inconceivable. That's from Princess Bride. I was doom scrolling one day and I saw somebody actually clip some of the Princess Bride. You know, like the first fight scene. So that means at least somebody is trying to get it into the Skibbity brain rot zone. And even then, you probably don't need to fucking watch The Princess Bride in hyper pigmented shorts because that whole movie is constantly going. Like there's no low point in The Princess Bride. Something that I could also do is I could have a little postern gate or something right here, because you know, like, you know, this leads out to right here. You could do like, you know, a little piston door or something fun like that. Just because I feel like the big problem that I'm gonna have is that I'm gonna get like, kind of frustrated having to go down that spiral staircase every single time. I feel like maybe a little dirt postern gate right over here. You know, I hit a little button. You know, door shifts out. I feel like that could be pretty cool. So I was I needed to grab some glowstone or something for lighting for the actual, you know, storage room. And it's probably just gonna be glowstone because easy. But I found ourselves a bastion here, and I guess I can go ahead and hop into it here in a second and see what I can get from it. And if you're wondering why, no, I'm right here. It's because my home biome. Actually, I've never really shown you guys my tunnel network that I have over here. But we just walk this way, go back on up. Well, I showed you guys a little bit of it, but I didn't show you guys that much of it. I showed you like a little corner of it. Down there's where entrance is, where the portal is. It's a big old soul sand valley, so I've kind of branched out. And then this leads to somewhere, I don't, where does this lead to? I don't remember. Is either like, I think it's not the coral reef. I do have some tunnels to certain places where I've explored off camera. Oh no, this is the jungle. But I have, you know, a network to where I need to go. I haven't felt rough enough clipping into the roof, because I don't really have a reason to unless I want to build, you know, make the tunnel network look nice kind of thing. And even then I might just do that underneath the roof because I'm lazy. I haven't decided yet, because clipping to the roof, at least in my experience, every single time I've done it, it does not feel worth it. Then again, I also very rarely get even, I mean, me playing this game for as long as I have right now is very long. Like, you know, we'll come back to this at some other point because I don't have any equipment for this. I don't have a shield, I don't have a bow, I don't have a golden helmet on, even though to try to kill me anyways. I was mainly only here for... Actually, let's try getting to the main chest. I can get over there. And without risking it too hard. Here's one of the main chests, not into the main bottom part at least. Be pigmen. Not the other kind. That'll touch you. What kind of bastion is this even? I used to be deathly scared of the Nether as a kid, like anybody else was. And, you know, after a while you start getting used to it. But the thing is, I've never really played that much of the 1.16 stuff. Woo! That's cool. I need that. So, I'm still a little on edge when it comes to these bastions and stuff like that. This smithing template is very nice. No, I probably won't feel bothered enough to grab Netherite for another 30 episodes at this rate, if not more. That's perfectly fine. You know, just a pit stop. Like I said, I definitely want to grab some better equipment, maybe even get some enchanted gear before I even try to tackle one of these, because I know how hard they hit. They hit really hard. Especially. I should have enough glowstone too, so I'm gonna go ahead and just head back, so. Just look how bright, look how bright it is over here. I can actually probably take off the torches. Oh yeah, see? That looks cool. Okay, so I've gone ahead and got the little roof design in these. And yeah, obviously all these chests. I need to move all my stuff in here. And well, I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of this this side. I'm gonna get this side set up now. Okay, so I've gone ahead and moved everything that was up there into here. Fill this in, fill this in. I'm gonna go ahead and keep this side exposed because right now, because I don't know if I'm gonna go ahead and add my stuff on here just yet. I know the plan for this is to be expandable. You know, I mean, I already basically have used this entire full area. So what's gonna happen is I can either, you know, I still got this I can fill up. If I can get probably another 2 or 3 down this way before I hit like the corner of the wall, because the hill does kind of taper off a little bit, but I should be able to get at least 1 or 2 more of these kind of storage extensions in there if I wanted to. And then on this side, I was gonna probably put some smaller redstone contraptions just because they're always running kind of thing. But let's go ahead and go up here and show you that moving that giant chest monster took me like an hour and a half. It took me that long. Anyways, I think what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna add some windows and stuff like that to, you know, to everything. Like, for example, like this. Like, I mean, it doesn't look that bad. I kind of like it. But like the windows up there, I don't like. You know, I need to add arrow slits and stuff like that to the towers. And I guess get the design down for the floors, because I kind of got some of it when I was like laying it out. You know, so you could walk through all the walls. But I haven't really added any extra floors. Like, for example, stuff like right here, there would be another floor probably. Right in here. In here. And it probably wouldn't have another floor, but in here definitely. And then you come around back over here. And this is gonna be another floor, I think. Or this is gonna be another floor, or it's gonna be like a little, you know. This is gonna be the staircase up from the bottom floor. Stuff like that. How the fuck did you guys get up there? So I hope you guys have been enjoying this episode. It's definitely a little trying to edit a little different this time. Also because I feel like, you know, last episode was a lot of just, I wouldn't say it was a lot of it was a lot of replays and stuff like that, because I just, of how yesterday was, where I was working a lot, you know, because I have a pretty, I'm not saying my routine is long and arduous or intense or whatever, but I have to do a bunch of stuff usually. You know, I have to work out and I have to go do my full-time job or work a full-time job, you know, stuff like that. And I had to do a bunch of stuff outside of work. Those 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I don't even remember how long it took me. What was happening was that I had ran out of, I had to help my mom move some stuff back into, you know, where she lives. And that eventually ended up on me not really having as much time as I usually did to upload, at least normally. So I decided I should record it in a bunch of replays instead and work on it slowly, which is what I ended up doing for last episode. And I think you know, doing that is a little boring. It's not that enjoyable. I still don't know exactly how I want to design the windows right here. The old design I wasn't happy with. I think the one I'm about to do, I'm not going to be happy with as well. But yeah, I mean, hopefully this episode feels better. Hopefully. Okay, so while I was designing the windows, I went ahead and kind of made, you know, thought about it a little bit more and stuff like that. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and redo the wooden part of the cube. Like, it's a little too short. But I got the design for the windows, that down. I need to add some decorations to the side as well. Like a good old cup of coffee. Anyways, I've gotten the top up here, at least the rough shape. Rough shape, but I just need to go, obviously, that looks very wrong. I need to go underneath it all and patch it up. But I went ahead and made it a little bit taller and give it some little corner towers, because that's something you see a lot in Bohemian architecture. Not to mention, it just makes it look more imposing and different, because it's, well, imposing and different. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and add in those details right now. This is the first time I've had coffee in a while. Like, I've made coffee for myself. I've never been a really big hot drink fan for like all my life, up until I've gotten a little older. Now I like it. Now I do like me a good hot drink every now and then. It ain't anything too special. It's just some coffee that I had laying around, and then some oat milk, because I can't drink normal milk because I'm lactose intolerant. Even then, I like oat milk more. I've tried milk again here recently. Oat milk is just, it tastes better. For the longest time, when I was a kid, I would refuse to drink stuff like that. Found it nasty about half the time. I have it be one sided? Yeah, let's do one sided. A chain, and then, yeah, I like how that looks. That looks good. Like, I'm discovering myself. Like, I haven't made myself coffee in forever, and I'm definitely noticing that. Actually really good. I guess it's, if you're wondering why my inventories are fucked up, I died again. I need to, like, next episode is gonna be like me, like, investing in like some kind of mob farm, overworld mob farm. Don't plan on going to the end yet. Really? I never really go to the end in the first place. I feel like elytras are kind of dumb. It's around the time that I think our progression was getting, you know, was getting set up for the worst at that time. It's actually like the first time I stopped playing this game consistently too, was 1.9. I really do feel like 1.9 is like what my modern people's 1.15 was for me. It was just the update where I stopped playing. And it wasn't until, well, basically the start of this series. And there's a couple multiplayer worlds I've been on with my buddies and stuff like that. This has lasted longer than all of those combined at this point. This series in this world. We talk a little funny now. It's because I'm very caffeinated. My second cup of coffee. I probably just associate coffee with a morning thing. And I'm not really a morning person because of, not because I don't want to be a morning person. I've always, when I was a kid, I'd wake up at like 4 or 5 in the morning, or I had to go to school to, you know, play Animal Crossing or SimCity or anything like that. Like I definitely at some point was a morning person. Just now that I work a shitty ass retail job, I just can't be because my hours are 1 to 10. Still like being awake at night though. Always very peaceful. I work for the Waltons, you know, Walmart, in the digital area. In the past week, they've had like 5 people who try to set up one TV, which that just shows you how incompetent the average Walmart worker is, or management, or whatever. That's that right there. It sounds like I'm tooting my own horn. I'm really not. But not only was I the one who actually got it set up in the first place, I was the one who actually was able to get it to connect to our software that we use for dispensing, or for like seeing our orders that are on the way here or are here. And well, to the best of my ability, because they bought a very, very shitty TV. I mean, we're talking like just horrible TV that barely works. Like HDMI keeps on disconnecting because nobody could get AirPlay to work on it. That's what they wanted to have work on there, was AirPlay. The thing is, it didn't work. Like, it did not want to work at all. So I ended up just being like, you know, you guys can just buy a little Type-C to HDMI, plug in the iPad, which that's another thing. That they bought an iPad, you know, they have an iPad. They still used an iPad. They didn't even, it wasn't like they had to use the iPad. They still used it because they wanted it or something. Probably have a picture of it, because I give you guys a picture of it because 1, I don't care if they fire me. 2, so you get to deduce which Walmart I work at from the back room of where I set up this TV, or help set up this TV. How do you mess up that hard? Like, it is. Do you even think? Do you think about the process before you buy all your stuff? Like, okay, I don't work in restaurants, but I'm pretty certain how restaurants set up their TVs is, you know, an actual smart way, where they have them, you know, connected to a computer of some sorts. I don't know if it's an actual PC or not. It might be like a Raspberry Pi or something like that. But then they, you know, with daisy chain the HDMI as to whatever broadcast they want to have on that TV, which, you know, instead of having an iPad that has to turn off because it's an iPad where it's a corporate iPad, so it has to stay on no matter, or you know, you can't have it set to never timeout. Then the actual software that we use already has problems on our own personal, or our work phones, or our TCs and stuff like that. It will refuse to update. If you work at Walmart, you know what I'm talking about. Fucking GIF is a piece of shit, and I don't know how people get paid to develop that thing. I've seen open source software that works like 50, if not even more times better. I mean, it is ridiculous how a corporate company just kind of accepts that level of quality. Anyways, so I got ahead and got the decorations to the bottom done. Gotta add windows in. I'll probably switch out these windows too, because they look kind of cool. I feel like they are a little too big in scale, just a little. Definitely, it feels better. They feel better now with the upper part of the keep, the wooden part of the keep being bigger. But even then, they still feel tiny bit big. Especially like when we come over here, I think on this side. And I should have added the stone buttons as well. Well, I was already up there. Shit. Actually, see, they seem a little big. I need to make them like maybe 1 block shorter, and I feel like that would probably look pretty good. But yeah, I mean, dude, you don't understand how like, unless you work at Walmart for like a consistent you don't walk out on day 1 or day 2. You don't. You realize how much a piece of shit fucking GIF is if you ever work in OPD, which is their grocery online, like digital grocery ordering stuff. Like, it is like the main problem right now. It's like they gave me a work phone because I've been there for a while now at this point. So I have my own personal work phone, so I don't use a TC anymore. The thing is like every single time I try to, if somebody doesn't want one of their substitutions or they want something off of their order, they took away the ability to just type in the UPC to take stuff off. Now you have to scan it to take it off. The thing is when you scan it with your phone, it doesn't work. Meaning I have to get somebody else, or I have to keep a TC on me if I consistently start taking out orders, because I legitimately can't do anything about it. Like, if somebody wants something off their order, I have to. That's just, it's wild. It's ridiculous. Like that alone shouldn't happen. But yet it does. I've been playing a lot of Helldivers here recently. Like, concerning amounts. Like, I'm recording basically, okay. You can see my upload schedule is kind of shifted. It's kind of tapered off a little bit, mostly because I'm too busy working my full-time job that I've already talked about today. But the other reason why is because I accidentally spend the entire evening or whatever playing Helldivers. Because I guess it just fills in all the niches from Rising Storm 2. Well, ever since they've done like a recent update where they changed the gunplay again, and hopefully they don't change it again, because the gunplay how it is right now is probably the second best gunplay I've ever felt in a video game. On par, like not on par with like Red Orchestra 2. You know, not RS2 levels of like holy shit. I feel like I can, you know, the gun is the extension of my hand. But still incredibly good feeling. I don't know how this is gonna look on the outside. I see a lot of those like fancy fuckheads who are like, check out my epic new base. Put like scaffolding against the windows. And I'll see how it looks. Maybe it'll add some contrast. But yeah, I honestly at this point expect Helldivers content coming out. I'll probably figure something out for it, because I feel like I probably should. Because, you know, obviously the historical intentions of these little tower slits is so you have archer stuff you can shoot through it. You can shoot through, and I can also check through and see if I like those windows, and if I do, then I'll keep them. If I don't, for the filling for the windows, I feel like I like the windows because it's, you know, it'll fit. It works. It just works. Yeah. I like how they look. I like the shape. You know, I just don't like the scaffolding in them. And then for that right there, that looks kind of weird. But yeah, I mean, if I do switch, I'm not gonna switch content. I mean, it's my own fucking channel. I like doing whatever I upload on this channel is something that I like. I really trying not to make this feel like a job to myself. But I feel like if I do upload some Helldiver stuff, it's gonna probably just be like my personal loadouts that I like using. You know, that's the other thing about Helldivers I really like, is that everything in that game is viable. If you ever played like something like Payday, like Payday 2, for example, I don't know about Payday 3. I never bought it. I had a hunch it was shit, and I was right. In Payday 2, you have to play a certain way at the higher difficulties. Super Helldive, you could like rock all smokes, and like you don't even have to shoot your gun on Super Helldive if you know what you're doing. You can just stealth around. Obviously that's really hard, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, but yeah. Anyways, in Helldivers, it's build variety. Build variety is like something that it's just so good at. Ridiculously good at. Like you could just like anything is viable at the highest, even at the highest difficulty. If you know what you're doing, you know what you're playing, what faction you're going against and stuff like that. I mean, I hate playing bugs. I love me some squids. I love me some bots. You could rock the most wild setups. You know, my favorite here recently has been the Piss Diver, which is like the scythe or the little scythe pistol, and then the laser cannon. You know, the Piss Diver. You shoot yellow, and then I have I wear all like yellow armor. I wear like one of the peak physiques that's yellow, and then yellow, like the mostly yellow cape and stuff like that. I'll probably like fucking throw up an image of the Piss Diver. I can't find it. Oh my goodness, I'm so caffeinated, it's not even funny. I feel like I could like run across, I could like streak naked and like run for like 5 miles straight and feel nothing other than like lust. What? Oh, look at that. Look at that. Well, I've been recording past 2 weeks for a good old 4 hours. You know, I thought decorating this was gonna take, I guess I redid the top part, so that, I mean, that kind of makes sense. But even then, holy shit, that's a lot of footage for me to go through. And got a couple other things I want to work on. This diver. Yeah, I decided instead of just making a little image of it, I should make an episode. I should like do a little series on maybe like loadouts or something like that instead of clip comps. I feel like not only could I make that funnier, anyways, you'll see it eventually probably. If not, well then I didn't like it and I scrapped it. Anyways, I think that's gonna be it for today. Next episode, probably not working on this because I've been working on it for like technically basically since the start of since episode 2 technically. I've gone through the 3 iterations into now where I'm decorating it. But I mean, I needed a storage room. I got that done this episode. I made it to keep it look nice and pretty. I'll probably slowly but steadily work on these towers and stuff like that. And this building, you know, giving it more decoration than what they have. You know, and cleaning up some spots where you've probably noticed and I've noticed. I just haven't felt bothered enough to fix it yet. Where there's like holes and shit in the wall, or holes in the roof, or parts of the roof are missing, stuff like that. It'll all get fixed here soon. But I swear to God, every single time I'll like record like some normal like just me talking, it just starts raining. This fucking place is cursed. I swear to God. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Obviously, I've changed the style again. I'm trying something a little different. How I upload, you know, how I record these things. And, well, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day or evening. I'll see you. Probably not next week, but the week after. We'll see how I feel. Bye-bye. Adios. Auf Wiedersehen. I don't know what else is goodbye in any other way.